Noir is the smooth-brained third son of a stupid noble. He's a broke loser, and to make matters worse, he loses his job. Luckily for the dummy, he finds his way into a hidden dungeon where he unlocks a cheat skill that makes him OP. The craziest things begin to happen when he discovers that he needs to clap and keep clapping sexy girls for him to level up. Early in the morning, Noir Stardia, the star of the show, was all set to head to his job as a librarian. Well, as set as someone who works at a library can be: books, pens, labels, whatever they need. But instead of the usual have a nice day wish from his parents, he's greeted with the dream-crushing news that his job had been snatched up by some rich, noble kid. Apparently, in this world, where nobles can claim job titles like they're picking out designer clothes, being a poor noble just doesn't cut it. Noir sighs deeply, the kind of sigh you hear when a character is about to embark on a life-altering journey. As Noir aimlessly wanders the streets, he bumps into Emma. She's sympathetic, clearly upset that his librarian gig was taken from him. And is it me, or is this female giving off the same vibes as that Hawk Tua girl? She tells him that being a librarian might not have been his thing. Emma suggests Noir use his Great Sage skill to get into the Hero Academy. Noir uses the Great Sage skill, only to be rewarded with a skull-crushing headache that feels like he's been hit by a meteor. Emma, the creative, tells him that according to a legend, kissing will make the headache disappear. Riz! She just wants to jump on his lips! Noir's face turns the same shade of red as Kirito's blush whenever Asuna's around, but hey, who would argue with the legend? After their magical lip dance, he calls on the Great Sage, and the Great Sage finally gives him some useful advice, saying he should head to the hidden dungeon. Noir immediately embarks on this journey to the hidden dungeon. He hears a voice call out to him, and there he meets none other than Olivia Servant, a legendary adventurer who's been stuck in there for 200 years. Chained hands and feet like she's waiting to be persecuted, but damn, what are those big bouncy milk jugs hanging on her? Noir tells her his goal, and in true mentor fashion, Olivia grants him her powerful skills that nobody has inherited except her. But there's a catch. Using these legendary skills costs Noir LP, which are his life points. If they drop to 0, it's game over, literally. But Olivia, in the most nonchalant way possible, explains that Noir can restore his LP by fulfilling his desires, which apparently includes, sexual desires.
Oh my god!
After a montage of Noir mastering his new abilities, he heads back to the surface to restore his LP with the help of his sister. Now, before your mind goes to some weird Oreimo or Eromanga Sensei place, let's just say it involves some sibling bonding of a sort. Sibling bonding, not the word that sounds like insect or the popular stepbro gig. To help Noir prep for the Hero Academy entrance exam, Olivia suggests that he create a discerning eye skill. He works on this with Emma's help, and as a thank you, Noir uses his editing ability to give Emma smaller milk jugs, claiming it'll reduce the strain on her shoulders. You need to see the look on Emma's face as she freaked out over her precious and priceless milk jugs just deflating away like balloons and demanded her original assets back, especially after Noir casually admits he likes big boobs. Fast forward to the Hero Academy, and Noir teams up with Emma, who left her job just to be with him. We all know she loves our guy, and kind of want to cough him. Lenore Bluden, a noble's daughter with a serious attitude. The entrance exam isn't your average fill-in-the-blanks test. Instead, they have to gather rare monster materials. Noir heads straight for the 3rd floor of the hidden dungeon, where he encounters a dead Reaper. Let's call the dungeon Shi no Danjon. The fight is tough. Noir uses up almost all his LP in the battle, but in the end, he manages to slay the Reaper and brings back its skull as a trophy. This earns his team the highest score in the exam because nothing says top marks like dragging a monster's skull back to the academy. Now, that's my boy. I wish my dad would tell me that. After the victory celebration, Noir and his family are happily celebrating his acceptance into the Hero Academy. But of course, just when things are looking up, they receive a letter with the Academy tuition fee. Looks like Noir's next big quest is about to begin, which is finding enough money to avoid dropping out before his first class. Noir was feeling on top of the world after scoring the highest marks, but life doesn't work like that. His celebration came to a crashing halt when he was hit with the bills. 3,000 reals for the enrollment fee, and to make matters worse, he had only a week to gather the funds. Noir's family couldn't scrape that much money together in a week, even if they sold off all their farm animals, belongings, and Noir's embarrassing childhood photos. So he turned to Olivia, who always seems to have the answers. She told him to try the Adventurers Guild, as if joining a dangerous, monster-filled job market was as easy as signing up for Netflix. With no better option, Noir heads to the guild, where he's greeted by Lola Matrose. She's got the looks, the charm, and that NPC vibe that makes you wonder if she's secretly a legendary warrior. After giving Noir the once-over, she explains how the guild works, which is basically a glorified side quest factory. Noir, always the diligent student, starts filling out his registration form. Lola says with a sly smile that he should list all his skills, probably expecting the usual swordsmanship or basic healing magic. Noir hit her with the special editor and get creative skills that his milk juggy master gave him. Now, you can practically hear the sound effect as Lola's eyes widen. It turns out this guild isn't your run-of-the-mill monster hunting club. It's the same guild Olivia is part of. And when Noir hears that, he blurts out the word Master in the most dramatic way possible, like some lost disciple from Naruto calling out to his sensei. Lola, being both amused and intrigued, decides to show him the guild's special tool, which is a magical book that can reveal anyone's skills before he can bask in the glory of his potential. Lola adds an extra twist. If Noir's skills are what he claims, she'll have to lift her skirt as his reward. Noir, naturally, wins the challenge. His LP skyrocketed, boosted not only by his victory, but also by the unintended reward of Lola's skirt-lifting incident. With his registration out of the way, Noir dives into his first quest, catching rainbow grasshoppers. Not the most glamorous mission, but hey, even One Piece started with some humble beginnings. As Noir is hopping around, attempting to catch these colorful insects, Emma shows up, and boy is she mad. Turns out Noir didn't mention a word to her about this whole guild thing, and she's been left out of the loop like the saying, out of sight, out of mind. Emma channels her inner woman nature, pouting and lecturing Noir. Back at the guild, Lola starts getting a little too close to Noir, which does wonders for his LP, but nothing for his safety, as Emma's jealousy starts beaming the exact heat radiation as the sun. The situation escalates when Noir and Emma team up for their next quest, hunting the big clawy rabbit, the Big R. Emma charges in, determined to take it down herself. But after a few attacks that barely scratch the surface, it's clear that the Big R isn't going down without a fight. As the tension builds, Noir and Emma retreat into the forest, where Noir hatches a rather unconventional plan. He decides to edit Emma's skills. But first he's got to gather enough LP. He gathers the LP by nibbling on Emma's ear. Yes, you heard that right. He's either enjoying the feel, or he's enjoying the sound of her voice as she you-know-what, and I hope you weren't expecting them to run a quickie in the middle of battle. It works. Emma's power level spikes dramatically, and she finally delivers the finishing blow to the Big R, ending the battle in a blaze of glory, Dragon Ball style. After the dust settles, they head back to the guild, victorious. Noir receives the reward money he so desperately needs, and to celebrate, the guild throws a barbecue party using the Big R as meat. As the festivities wind down, Noir takes a moment to thank Olivia for all her help. Olivia shrugs it off with a playful smile, reminding him that this is only the beginning of his adventures. After settling the hefty tuition fee, Noir and Emma are ready to embrace their first day at Hero Academy. But before they even make it to the gates, they cross paths with Maria Fiona Albert, a fellow student who, from the outside, seems like the typical bossy noble classmate. Noir, however, quickly senses something is off. It turns out she's been hit with a curse. With their impromptu discovery out of the way, they head to the park for their usual morning greeting. I might have not mentioned, but Emma and Noir have decided to always have a little lip play here and there. It's the great knowledgeist Emma who came up with that bright idea. Afterward, they march toward Hero Academy, excitement brewing despite the slightly ominous start. As soon as they arrive, Emma's popularity skyrockets among the boys, drawing attention without even trying, while Noir is left in the dust, ignored by everyone thanks to his baronet status. Things start to look up and good when Maria, the same cursed girl, reaches out to Noir. It's like a little glimmer of hope in an ocean of indifference. She doesn't seem too concerned about his noble rank and treats him like a real person. Imagine that. Someone finally dissolves his NPC status. As class begins, they're introduced to their teacher, Elna Stongs. She's the kind of teacher who looks like she walked straight out of a fairy tale guild with a fierce aura and a reputation to match. She kicks things off by teaching the students the backstep, and, surprise, Noir is volunteered to demonstrate by the teacher. She just took one good look round and picked his ugly standout face. She allowed him to attack her with his real sword while she used a wooden one. Normally, he wouldn't dare attack a woman, but after using discerning eye to peek. At her level and seeing she's over 250 and has great military combat skill, he charged in and she backstabbed easily. Now it's her turn to attack. Before Noir can think of 2 words, she jumped right at him and struck him. He rolled on the floor like a baby, and Emma ran to his aid. She then proposed a reward for whoever could successfully evade her attack whilst flashing at her milk jugs. She charged at Noir again, but this time, he already used Get Creative and acquired the skill, so he easily evaded her, like a ninja straight of the Itachi clan in Naruto. With a big grin on his face, he reminded her of the reward he promised. And without further ado, she put him on the ground and grinded his meat so hard, I'm sure this virgin nutted like twice. The groups are quickly split into 2. Emma and Noir are split by the teacher. Maria and her noble sidekick, Amane, were also split. Maria and Noir spar together, and as Maria throws Noir to the ground, she falls on him and plumps her huge milk jugs into Noir's face. Amane rushed in to help. Noir, on the other hand, asked the Great Sage what he should do to get enough LP to help, and the Great Sage came up with the idea of him lining up the girls and tapping their milk jugs like a player running through the fans and high-fiving them. Just look at the milk jug that his hand was touching in the demonstration. That's pure gold. Without any way to help, Emma and Noir went to the guild to ask Lola for help, and Lola has just the person to do the job. Lola dashes off to the temple, hoping to convince her friend Luna to help with the whole Maria might just go to her maker on her 16th birthday. Meanwhile, Noir, the diligent hero in training, fills Olivia in on the latest cursed classmate drama. Noir asks Olivia how he can rack up more LP because, well, his life points are dropping faster than Goku running out of energy mid-fight. Olivia, in the most nonchalant way possible, introduces Noir to the Lucky Lecher skill. Luck and perviness go hand in hand here, and let's just say it guarantees some accidental physical encounters that magically boost his LP. Noir heads into town to meet up with Emma, but thanks to his new skill, a series of comedic incidents unfold. If you've ever seen Love Hina, you know the drill. Random tripping, awkward falls, and the classic hand lands on the right body part moments that would have the entire fanbase going, "Hell yeah!" Noir just keeps racking up those LPs, even though he's mortified at the chaos his new power causes. When they finally meet up with Lola and Luna at a restaurant, the mood shifts to something a little more serious. Luna, in her serene, elf-like demeanor, drops a bombshell. Maria's family had already asked for her help, but unfortunately, she couldn't do much. Noir whips out his discerning eyes skill, and it turns out, Luna's lift curse ability costs her lifespan. Noir pulls Luna aside for a private chat. Luna reveals the tragic backstory we all knew was coming. Her mother had died from overusing the lift curse skill. Despite all this, Luna, with the bravery of a true hero, heals a wounded child right then and there. She's terrified because of a skill called cowardice, but she makes the decision. She'll help Maria, even if it costs her life. Just as things get too serious, Lola swoops in. She hugs Luna. And this is where Noir gets a crazy idea that he could edit Luna's skill so it consumes her finances instead of her life. But here's the catch. Noir doesn't have the money or LP to make it happen. Lola, who's always thinking on her feet, suggests entering the Harem Pride event to win the cash they need. If that title sounds absurd to you, imagine Noir's reaction. Later, in a scene that feels straight out of a slice of life meets awkward sibling dynamics anime, Noir catches his sister, Alice, doing something odd. She's sniffing her sheets. No context needed. You know where this is going. Noir invites her to sleep alongside him. As they lie down, she pulls off a classic sibling move and presses her milk jugs against his back. Noir is shocked to find that his LP has skyrocketed. Turns out, gaining life points is a lot easier and weirder than he ever imagined. It's the eve of Maria's 16th birthday, and Amane is having a full-blown panic attack because Maria's condition is going from slightly cursed to final boss-level cursed in about a few hours. Meanwhile, Noir and his squad, Emma, Lola, and Luna, are busy trying to survive the madness that is the Harem Pride event. As they prepare to step into the ring, they can't help but notice the audience absolutely shredding the previous contestants with insults. It's like they combined a roasting session with a talent show gone wrong. The team before them somehow wasn't humiliated. The crowd, naturally, is fuming, hungry for their next victim. Emma is ready to nope out of there, but with some last-minute needle therapy from Lola and Noir hyping her up like she's about to face off against Frieza, she steps forward. And let me tell you, Emma crushes it. The crowd, who is ready to boo them off stage, is suddenly silent, jaws dropping in disbelief. As they take one good look at her pretty face, Those alluring curves and those damn good-looking melons, they go wild and start raining praises on her. Just when Noir's team thinks they've secured the dub with the highest score in Harem Pride history, the event host throws a surprise round at them. But Noir, Emma, Lola, and Luna are not having it. With some serious strategy, they leave the host in shock, the audience green with envy, and walk away as champions. Sure, they get kicked out right afterward, but not before grabbing enough cash and LP to save Maria. Back at the Albert residence, Noir stumbles upon Amani having a tearful meltdown at the entrance. He reassures her that they're going to save Maria. Maria recalls the origin of her curse, her tragic childhood, and the emotional decision that led her to the Hero Academy. It's like watching Naruto reflect on his past for the 100th time, but with a curse instead of a nine-tailed fox. Noir and Luna march into Maria's room with the swagger of adventurers who've seen too much, ready to fix everything. Noir drops the bombshell that he's edited Luna's skill so she can remove Maria's curse without turning into an anime tragic backstory herself. Then Maria seals the deal by kissing Noir before Luna finally dispels the 16th year death curse. Emma and Lola, always the detectives when it comes to Noir's love life, immediately suspect that Maria has caught feelings for him. And then, Luna also, like it meant nothing to her that Lola and Emma exist, she casually reveals that she's also interested in Noir. Cue the jealousy-fueled fury from all three girls. Later, Noir heads back to Shino Donjon to catch Olivia up on everything that went down. He's all thanks and gratitude, but Olivia senses something's off. She quickly realizes that Noir's been kissed by multiple girls, and she demands a kiss too, and you know what this foolish virgin did. Instead of having the time of his life with her lips, I don't know which lips came to your mind, but still, lips, or even having a good feel of her milk jugs of her behind, he gives her a forehead kiss. Are we falling in love with our master here? Meanwhile, over at the Alice Theater, where Noir's sister is doing her best moonlit monologue, Alice suddenly senses something. 4 women have fallen for her brother. She's in her own sister's complex world. Maybe because she's from the lowest noble home, so the only person that shows her affection is her brother. Let's not go there. That's a whole conspiracy theory. I don't have enough plot armor for that. After an unexpected windfall from Maria's father, who decided to shower everyone with a cool 1 million gold each, Noir starts thinking long-term. Instead of blowing, security guard can bench press a dragon. Noir and Emma roll into the Adventurer Guild like it's a normal day, but instead of a warm greeting, they find Lola absolutely fuming, her temper barely being held in check by Luna. You can practically see the steam shooting out of Lola's ears like a Dragon Ball Z character powering up. What's got her so worked up is apparently a little rivalry drama with another receptionist, Sarah, who's been stealing adventurers like she's collecting Pokemon. And let's be honest, nobody likes a thief, especially when it comes to guild rankings. Sarah even brags about topping the receptionist ranking, making Lola's blood boil even more. Earlier that day, Noir had barely survived his own morning battle, Emma hugging him in front of his entire household. Together, they head to the Hero Academy, where Maria and Amane thank them for saving Maria from the curse. But before Noir can even process the awkwardness of being thanked so publicly, Elna, the Academy's S-class teacher, drops a bombshell. There's an exam, and it's not your typical study hard and pass test. No, students are expected to bring back 3 rare monster materials within 2 weeks. Think of it as a scavenger hunt, but with dragons. Naturally, Noir and Emma decide to go big or go home, chase the king of the mystery animals, the dragon. They march back to the Adventurer Guild to ask for Lola's help. And this brings us to the beginning, with Lola raging at Sarah for stealing her adventurers. It turns out, Sarah didn't just stop there. She manipulated Lola into a duel of sorts. If Lola can top the guild rankings next month, Sarah will stop poaching her adventurers. If Sarah wins, Noir becomes Sarah's exclusive adventurer. Not wanting to lose Noir to Sarah's schemes, Lola enlists the help of the gang to raise her rank. With Luna by their side, they blitz through a bunch of quests like they're speedrunning an RPG. Meanwhile, Noir and Emma are also gearing up for their big task, which is taking down an earth dragon that's been causing chaos in the mountains. Armed with newly bought spears and freshly gained LP, Noir even creates the dragon killer skill. Up in the mountains, Noir and Emma put their heads together and set a trap for the earth dragon. After a battle that feels like something ripped straight out of Dota, dragon blood, they manage to slay the beast and take its fangs, securing their ticket to passing the Hero Academy exam. They don't stop there though. Like true adventurers, they drag the dragon's entire body back to the guild. This feat not only raises Lola's rank, but also gets them a ton of street. cred. Unfortunately, Sarah, however, pushes her adventurers to their limits, keeping her position at the top of the rankings. Lola, now in full-on panic mode at the thought of losing Noir to Sarah, does the only logical thing an anime girl can do in this situation. She drags Noir into a private room and hands him a Touch Me Anywhere coupon. Before Noir can process what's happening, Lola throws him onto a couch and starts touching him in ways that would make even the To Love Ru cast blush. She then pours her heart out, explaining the stress of being a receptionist and how much Noir means to her. Moved by her sincerity and still trying to recover from all the milky business, Noir reassures her that she can always vent to him. After his adventure with Lola, Noir heads to Shino Donjon to debrief Olivia. Olivia, ageless mentor she is, casually drops that the 7th floor of the hidden dungeon is a bonus level. It's like discovering a secret level in Super Mario, but with far deadlier consequences. With Olivia's guidance, Noir creates a new set of magic skills, tests them on zombies on the 6th floor, and then heads down to the Forest of Gold on the 7th floor. Little does he know, a mysterious girl is watching him from the shadows. Noir is now ready to explore the 7th floor of the unending dungeon. He stumbles upon a pack of silver wolves feasting on something that didn't have a good day. Enter stage left, a mysterious girl who looks suspiciously like a pint-sized version of Emma from her younger days. Plot twist. She's not Emma's little sister, but a Dryad, a forest spirit with the very original name, Dory. Dory pulls a classic damsel in distress move and asks Noir to do her a solid and kill a monster that's been giving her and the forest a hard time. In return, she promises treasures and a VIP pass to the 8th floor. Noir, naturally, is skeptical. Turns out the monster is a freakishly strong mutant golden bee. Noir, understandably, tries to back out of this nightmare scenario, but Dory, with a face so innocent it could sell ice to a penguin, thanks him anyway, and doesn't even try to guilt-trip him. This, of course, flips Noir's hero switch, and he's back in action, determined to save Dory like he's Kirito rescuing Asuna from another game-level disaster. Dory hugs Noir and proceeds to kiss him, repeatedly. This is no ordinary peck, though. She's licking his wounds while kissing him, and his LP shoots through the roof, and Noir's now ready to face this monstrous bee of doom. There's just one of them, but if that bee buzzes into my room, I'm buzzing out. He's the new landlord now. But first, like any responsible adventurer, he runs back to the 7th floor to ask Olivia for advice. Olivia, ever the courteous mentor, hesitates but eventually gives him the go-ahead with a casual. Armed with Dory's kisses and some questionable courage, Noir locates the golden bee's nest, using his newly acquired target skill. The plan is to draw the silver wolves towards the bee's nest and put a target on the bee and let nature take its course. In theory, it's a brilliant strategy, right up until the moment Noir is almost torn to shreds by the wolves. Things go from bad to worse when Noir discovers the bee has turned its attention to Dory, who's passed out. Noir, seeing this, loses it. He goes full berserk mode, charging at the bee with the ferocity of Demon Slayer Tanjiro when someone messes with his sister. But here's the kicker, he can't land a single hit. The bee is dodging everything like it's got Ultra Instinct from Dragon Ball Super. The wolves finally show up, distracting the bee long enough for Noir to tweak the target skill to the bee. They tear through the wolves, and you think the bee will not tear through me? Please, I'll go find me a new place to live in. If it wants my girl, he can have her too. The bee is defeated, and gifts are awarded to Noir. In the park, Noir hands over the wind selection to Emma, who immediately devours it. Emma tests her new skills. She then invites Noir to a high society dance party, but Noir hesitates. Emma teases him, saying that if someone were to kidnap her and do questionable things, he'd probably assume the worst and make a dramatic exit. Noir reluctantly agrees to go. At home, Noir discovers his father's attempt to rent a shop space has failed spectacularly because no one wants to lease to poor nobles. Noir asks his dad for a tuxedo for the party, only to find that the only one available looks like it's been through a battle with a Konosuba explosion spell. So Noir decides to splurge on a new one. The party kicks off with Emma's parents giving Noir an oddly warm welcome. The host, Born, announces that the famous Phantom duo plans to steal his most prized jewel. The Brightness family is now visibly sweating bullets, and the Lamu top adventurers are on security duty. Noir spots one of them who looks his age but is double his level. During the festivities, a Viscount named Mike Kental repeatedly asks Emma out, only to be rejected more times. Kental, clearly hurt by this, challenges Noir to a dancing duel, where the prize is a date with Emma. Noir, stirring the dance off, creates a dancing skill and wins. Just as Noir and Emma are about to kiss, a woman in a costume bursts in and kidnaps Emma while a masked man swipes the mermaid's tear jewel. Noir teams up with the Lamu adventurers, and Layla, the reluctant member of the group, agrees to join him. While the leader and other members pursue the masked man, Noir and Layla chase after the woman, named Fan. Layla battles a firebird summoned by Fan. Noir goes toe-to-toe with Fan, mixing up his attacks like a magical cocktail. He bestows weight upon the firebird and then hits Fan with a lightning water fusion move. After defeating them, Noir and Layla become friends faster than you can say plot twist. But then, the Lamu adventurer's leader appears and, surprise, he's Tom in disguise. Tom, proving that he's not just a one-trick pony, reveals he wants to marry Emma. Noir tries to resist Tom's skill, but while Tom is busy monologuing, Emma wakes up and zaps him with her wind strike. Noir finishes the job with a punch. Returning to the party with the defeated thieves in tow, Noir and Layla are praised by the host and Emma's parents. The next day, Noir finds out that Bourne has rented a place to the Stardia family with tax breaks so cheap it might as well be free. As the Stardia family begins setting up their new digs, Emma hugs Noir, promising to help them out. This display of affection, naturally, makes Alice, who's been watching from the sidelines, the brother complex girl, jelly. In the S class at Hero Academy, Elna steps in with her usual "this is going to get weird" smile and two major announcements. First, the class is getting a new transfer student, and guess who it is? Yep, Layla Overlock, the same girl who helped Noir and Emma during the Phantom incident. You can practically see Noir's brain start flashing back to that chaos. Next up, Elna announces an excursion to Amora Mountain. At the base of the mountain, everyone's buzzing with excitement over the Amora hot springs. The girls, however, are a bit wary of the boys, but Emma, with supreme confidence, assures them Noir will protect them. Noir, overhearing, is suddenly unsure if he's been signed up to be a hero or a babysitter. As they hike up the mountain, the boys start to lag behind. Yorth, ever the smooth talker, tries to get Elna to ease up, but fails miserably. Elna doesn't do it easily. Layla organizes the class for a potential monster attack, but the mood shifts when a pixie appears, offering to lead them on a shortcut. The class, enchanted by her cuteness, dissolves into a relaxed mess. Noir, however, remains suspicious. Noir's instincts are right. The pixie reveals that she's lured them into a trap, leading a gang of lizardmen in a sneak attack. But since this is an S-class group, they handle the lizardmen like they're low-level mobs. Noir stops the pixie from making her escape, and any teaching moment Elna tries to offer gets completely ignored because hot springs. When they finally arrive at the springs, the manager announces that the girls will bathe first. The boys, pretending to be on their best behavior, swear they won't spy on the girls. But Yorth, in true pervert fashion, immediately rallies the boys to do exactly that. Masks are involved. Noir, deciding he'd rather not get punched into orbit by Emma, refuses to join. The rest of the boys chase him, hoping to drag him into their ridiculous plan. On his way to the hot springs, Noir bumps into Elna, who, for once, is not here to torment him, but actually wants to help stop the boys. Noir breathes a sigh of relief. He's found an ally. Together, they lay waste to Yorth's little perv gang. After defeating Yorth, Noir is ready to declare victory, but the sneaky Viscount Kent shows up. Apparently, this guy's got some hidden talents, like using his last remaining brain cells to sneak after the girls. Noir, running on fumes at this point, uses almost all his remaining LP to slow Kent down, and just as they both arrive at the bath, it turns out the girls aren't naked yet. Elna, clearly smarter than anyone gave her credit for, advised the girls to hold off on their bath until the spying madness was over. Noir, completely out of energy, faceplants into the bath, leaving a concerned Emma to call out to him like a damsel in reverse distress. When Noir wakes up, he realizes his eyes are covered, but he can still hear the girls chatting. Surprise! Elna, in a move that must be her weird idea of a reward, has allowed Noir to bathe with the girls. Blindfolded, of course. Noir is freaking out, internally screaming. Things get even weirder when Emma offers to massage his face with her alluring milk jugs. Noir, completely clueless at first, freaks out even more when Elna decides to join in on the fun. He's in heaven, pure milky heaven. I know one or two eggplant, or better still, the rod of Moses has arisen. Noir, Emma, Lola, and Luna finish tidying up the newly opened shop, Golden Slime Jelly, which Noir dramatically reveals will be selling his prized product. After a serious brainstorming session, they all agree to call the shop Stardian's Rarities. Just when things start to look cozy, the whole Stardia crew, including Noir's parents, Alice, and Tigerson, gather to celebrate the grand opening of the store. To everyone's surprise, it's a hit, though Noir internally. Questions whether it's the product or the sheer weirdness of their family attracting customers. Probably a little of both. With the shop running smoothly, Noir decides to visit his favorite damsel in distress, Olivia, still chained up in the dungeon like a boss character waiting for someone to figure out her cheat code. Noir promises to free her one day, but Olivia tells him not to push himself too hard. Thanks to his handy-dandy great sage skill, Noir learns that the key to freeing Olivia is hidden on the 15th floor of the unending dungeon. The 14th floor presents a challenge. 2 paths, one for solo adventurers and one for a pair. Of course, Noir opts for the team route and ropes in Emma for backup. Once they hit the 14th floor, they stumble into a room full of pygmies who, rather than fight, demand food like they're attending an all-you-can-eat buffet. To make things even weirder, they insist Emma perform for them. Noir decides to poison them. On the 15th floor, they finally find Olivia, or at least a clone of her. There's even a sign warning that they need to free her to progress. Noir, using his discerning eye skill, realizes this Olivia is just a copy created by death chains. After freeing her, Noir tries to interrogate the clone, hoping to learn how to free the real Olivia, but instead, Olivia clone decides to test her power by trying to wipe the floor with Noir and Emma. It's less of a test and more of a run-for-your-lives situation, as they barely escape to the 2nd floor. Realizing they're in over their heads, they regroup and ask the real Olivia if her clone has any weaknesses. Noir asks why Olivia helps him out so much, but Olivia plays coy and refuses to give a straight answer. Either she's got a hidden agenda, or she's just enjoying the chaos. Back in town, Noir and Emma split up to research ways to defeat the Olivia clone. Noir, thinking he's about to have a quiet moment at his shop, instead finds Lola and Luna waiting for him. Naturally, they assume Noir's LP is running low, and they decide to fix that problem with a pretty girl sandwich. The next day, Noir hits the library, where he discovers a nugget of history. 200 years ago, a cleric with a rare skill called Sacrifice gave Olivia a run for her money. Armed with this new information, Noir manages to create the Sacrifice skill. Noir doesn't waste any time. He charges at Olivia clone with his freshly minted Sacrifice skill, expecting to land a killer blow. But just when he thinks he's won, she brushes off his attack like it's nothing. Worse, she pulls out a shiny new sword with a paralyzing skill that takes Noir down faster than you can say, sensing the danger, starts to worry. The episode kicks off right where the last one left off. Noir charging in like he's Kirito in a boss battle, except instead of triumphantly slicing through his foe, he's promptly defeated by Olivia clone, who wipes the floor with him like she's got the One Punch Man cheat code. Just as Noir is about to face an embarrassing end, the narrative hits the rewind button and takes us 200 years into the past. Back then, Olivia was just as much of a legend, but with fewer chains and dungeons involved. A persistent young boy keeps pestering her, asking to be his master. Olivia, being the cool, detached mentor type we've seen in every shonen anime ever, declines and tries to ghost him. Yet, like a sidekick with Naruto-level determination, the kid doesn't back down. He insists, even after Olivia puts him through a series of tests designed to break his spirit. Think of it as a harsh nope delivered with style. After several days of relentless training attempts, Olivia starts to warm up to the boy. But just when things seem to be progressing, tragedy strikes. The boy sacrifices himself to protect a young girl from an iron goblin, becoming another addition to the tragic backstory of powerful mentors everywhere. Olivia, deeply shaken by this, regrets never passing down her skills to the boy. She feels even worse when she ends up trapped in the unending dungeon, like a cursed RPG NPC. Fast forward 200 years, Noir shows up with a striking resemblance to that same boy from her past, reigniting all those bittersweet memories. Back in the present, Emma rushes in for the clutch save, bringing along Lola, Luna, and Layla like she's forming her own magical girl squad. They patch Noir up, but things still look grim one by one. Olivia clone takes them down like she's the final boss of the Dark Souls anime adaptation. Noir, showing some guts, helps Layla break Olivia clone's sword. Small wins count, right? Determined to take down the clone, Noir tries to fight her again, but soon finds out she's tampered with his skills, like she's got admin rights in his skill tree. Panic sets in, and in a last-ditch effort, Noir sacrifices all his skills, except for the rare ones, hoping for some kind of miracle. But nope. Olivia clone shrugs it off, laughs maniacally like a JoJo villain, and proceeds to pummel him into the ground. Just as she's about to land the finishing blow, Noir pulls off one of those main character almost dies but powers up moments. Sacrificing almost all his LP, he delivers a final attack, slicing Olivia clone in half. In classic anime fashion, she doesn't just die. Her body explodes into a flurry of chains before she disintegrates into nothing. Of course, the girls rush in to help Noir recover, and they do it the only way anime knows how, by pressing their chests against him to boost his LP, because nothing says teamwork like an unnecessary amount of fan service. Once recovered, Noir heads back to the dungeon to find Olivia. Surprisingly, she's no longer trapped, and they have an emotional reunion, capped off with Olivia playfully teasing Noir like she's always one step ahead of him. Cue the heartfelt hug and some lighthearted flirting, because apparently even dungeon-conquered friendships come with a side of romantic tension. Meanwhile, back at Stardian's Rarities, the shop is booming with their latest product, magical fruits made by Dory. They're such a hit, you'd think they were straight out of Dr. Stone. With the business thriving, Noir's attention shifts back to Hero Academy, where a new semester begins. As part of his training, Layla decides to teach Noir some martial arts in the park. Naturally, this innocent training session turns into chaos when Lola, seeing them together, assumes Noir is trying to gain LP again. She wastes no time in hugging his arm, soon followed by Luna, who's convinced the same thing. Things reach peak awkwardness when Emma, feeling jealous, gives Noir a French kiss in front of everyone. Just when you think things can't get crazier, Alice, witnessing the whole thing, snaps. She grabs a comically large sword, ready to unleash her own version of Attack on Titan on the entire group. The episode then cuts back to the unending dungeon, where Olivia checks in with Noir about whether he's recovered his skills. He coolly mentions that he's gotten most of them back, but isn't rushing things. Olivia, dropping another bombshell, reveals that the path to the 16th floor has opened after Olivia Clone's defeat. She also casually mentions that if Noir reaches the 100th floor, he might become as strong as her. Because nothing screams motivation like the promise of godlike power after 100 levels of grueling dungeon crawling. Now that his master is out, does that mean Shino Donjon will be unvisited? Or will just go there to fight and gain more powers? Doesn't that just defeat the name? Don't forget to leave a like if you actually enjoyed this recap, and we have a lot more insane recaps in store for you, so comment, "I want more," if you want more. And don't forget to subscribe for more anime recaps to be unfolded. Also, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our daily updates.